This one for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
Someone left a comment on the video. It's an insanely lengthy comment. And I would just like to read this verbatim. All right? I'm just going to read the comment verbatim. And I'm very curious to hear everyone's thoughts on it. So here's the comment left on my Alone in the Dark video where we were talking about this. Okay? Here it is. The majority of the detractors don't hate you for any real reason. They just monetize their videos. Duty made videos about Wings of Redemption before he ever came to you. And he was bullied out by the other Wings detractors. So he stopped and started making them about you. It's literally just for money for most of these big ones, and YouTube stopped them. If YouTube had stopped them from monetizing this crap, they would go do something else. The majority of the videos are your new content from today, with clips from years and years ago spliced in everywhere to try to create a false narrative. They don't care about anything at this point but making money, and they will fabricate stuff just to keep their money rolling in. Let's continue. The original detractors were actually just a bunch of crazy and obsessed people who were fanboys of Kojima. You kept saying bad stuff about Hideo Kojima while playing Metal Gear Solid, and that made them get really mad. They're all long gone now and probably on heavy medication of some sort at this point. Again, this is a comment on my video. I'm not saying this. This is me reading a comment, okay? It's literally 90% money-based now. They just never really made a career out of it. It would have mostly died out if not for that. Duty and the other spam uploaders make thousands of dollars a month doing this kind of content. More than they ever would have done doing anything else because they're all untalented morons. They treat making content about you like some people upload clips of their family or of the movie Frozen. I don't get that. I guess what they're saying is like obsession. Like, I upload all the content about my family. Oh, I'm the biggest fan of Frozen. Well, I'm the biggest hater of Darkside Phil. Monetize that shit. I guess that's what he's trying to say. Okay? Let's continue. Most of the detractors are far more racist and sexist and anything else than anything you ever did. It's not valid hate. Now, before I continue, I'm just going to say something right now. Those people who claim that they hate me because of things that I say and do, the things they say and do are far more vile. You have no idea. Like, no exaggeration, and this is me from my understanding. They call people who are fans of me or supporters of me dense. Okay? Do you know what that means? Do you know where that comes from? They're basically saying that when you were a child, someone dropped you on your head and you have a malformed skull because of it, a dented head, and you have, like, brain damage. This is a common term they use in their community. They're making fun of brain-damaged people, and, like, that's fine. That's totally acceptable. Oh, but if Phil says that someone's a mouth drooler because they mash playing a fighting game, that's not acceptable. Correct? But they have a literal term they use in every piece of their content, and that's acceptable, saying people have brain damage. What? No, it's not only hypocritical, it's worse than what I do. Worse. But they're okay doing it because they're making fun of me. Get it? It's not, it's insanely hypocritical. It's 100% fucked up, the way that they do it. Yeah, that's true. Oh, this is absolutely true. Dax McGain, or Dax again, I don't know how to say your name. They also say people are wheelchairs, meaning they're handicapped. Yes, because we all know that the only people who watch my content must be handicapped. That's why they do it, right? Like, what? And even if they were handicapped, who cares? That's insanely offensive and discriminatory. Who cares? I don't care who you are or where you are in your life. If you're handicapped or not, who cares? You can't watch someone on the internet and like their content? What are you talking about? You see how messed up this is? And that's their community. That's how they talk in their community. But that, I'm worse somehow. How am I worse than that? That's 10 times worse than what I say. Anyway, let's continue. They just want to pretend that their hate is valid so that it sounds valid. You could make yourself into a perfect angel in every way. They would still hate you. They would not miss a beat because this is now their job. Okay? As for their viewers, they find it funny to consume this stuff, and they have turned it into a daily routine, and the comments are all about money and not being good at games. It's mostly people who are jealous that you make money being a streamer, and they can't. Most of the restreamers literally are just failed streamers. They can only get any attention or make any money if they upload your content. They try to make their own content sometimes, and they get single-digit views on it. If you make yourself super clean and super boring, they're just going to paste in clips from your past and magnify tiny things to push a narrative, because that's their job at this point, and that's what makes it work. Being super clean and boring is not going to stop them. It will just make your content boring for the people who like you and support it. This is why people say the meme words, because you said something 6 years or so ago, and that's something that's detractors still splice into their videos daily. The thing these guys hate is any possibility of this gravy train that they're on ending. So if they see you do anything that they think might actually improve your public perception, they're going to try to counter it. Okay? If they thought that a documentary would come out that would actually see you in a positive light, and it might change how some people see you on the internet and actually attack the creators of like the detractor stuff, well, they're going to try to get you not to do that and even give you money to try to convince you not to do it. These people are just protecting their careers at this point. They even copyright strike each other, and they have their own turf wars, and then they blame you for it because they try to get the competition out of the picture because of their money. They're just a bunch of parasites clawing at each other to try to take money from you. They're like hot dog sellers clamoring around a stadium. You have no idea. I'm continuing. This is all one comment. You have no idea how sad the detractor community actually is. You think it's legit and has some foundation to it. No, it's actually just really stupid. If you were a woman, none of this would have happened. It would have ended long ago because it's unacceptable in the current climate to do this to a woman. However, because you're a guy, YouTube allows this to happen. If it were some way that you could get in touch with YouTube and get them to actually look into, ban, and demonetize this as bullying content, which it all is, by the way. I know you choose to ignore it, but most of it is totally against YouTube's terms of service. It would all end. The hard part is making them do this because you are a man and there is no real PR hit for it. If they allowed this to happen to a woman, YouTube would look bad. But because I'm a guy, they allow it to happen and even promote it and let it be monetized. Okay? This is why this Mike Klum documentary upset them a lot. It had the potential to get what is going on noticed by the people at YouTube or maybe outside the current ecosystem, and your detractors definitely do not want that. That's the comment. So, here's the deal from my perspective. You know, a lot of this, when I hear this in a comment, is news to me, even though I casually know names, like I know Duty Streams, or who the fuck he is. What a genius to name himself that, huh? I know they exist because I know you guys tell me about them, or I see them in related videos and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know anything about their personal past. I don't know anything about who they are, where they come from, any of that shit. I just don't know. I don't pay any attention to any of it. As you know, my philosophy has been, ignore it. Just fucking move on with my life and my day. Just go forward and keep creating positive content. And I'm successful doing that, right? But when you analyze it like this, okay? First of all, this sounds like someone who has inside knowledge, does it not? This sounds like someone who's in the trenches of this. And perhaps this is actually someone who knows because they're a part of it. That's my guess. That would be, I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong, but it certainly sounds to me like it's someone who is well versed in what's going on with that over there. Okay. I find it funny that this is apparently this guy Duty tried to be a detractor of Wings, but the Wings community already had so many detractors they bullied him out. So he tried to bully Wings, and the bullies of Wings bullied out a potential new bully of Wings. Oh my God. So then they moved on, right? To me, and because I guess I didn't have as organized of a detractor community as Wings, he's able to make his crap and gets popular doing it. Like, what on earth, right? You know, it's just like, that's just funny to me. And exactly, you can't make this stuff up. It's just such a fucking joke, you know? Now, here's the truth. If you watch any kind of this content, this bullying content, you are messed up. There is no one who is like a normal, right-minded person who would watch this shit. The problem is, there's ridiculous amounts of not normal people out there now. They're antisocial. They sit on the fucking internet, and this is what they do all day. They think it's legit time of their life. Their one life they have to live on Earth. They're going to die someday, but they don't have true self-consciousness. It's like a bunch of cows sitting in front of a computer, right? So people say to hate, I must watch and consume and hate. And I'll even throw money at people who hate. Like, what? Listen, I was a hater in the Street Fighter community 25 years ago. Okay? I say the late 90s into the first half of the 2000s. I was a hater. At the same time that I was a hater in the Street Fighter community, I played Street Fighter competitively. I was actually a good player. I actually got to the point where I won tournaments. Like, I did something productive while I was also being kind of a troll. You understand? Like, I never wanted to be a crowd follower of hate. Being a crowd follower of anything, you are the lowest form of life on this planet. You have no intelligent thought for yourself. You're just following along, apparently, a bunch of losers. And the sad fact is, when you look at what they say about me, like Phil is an e-beggar, and he asks for support for his content from a bunch of people. Oh, these innocent, ignorant, gullible people who listen to him, and then they give him money, and then, oh, he's horrible, he takes advantage of people. Literally, that's exactly what my detractors do, times 10. They fabricate narratives that don't exist. They reference things from my past that don't apply. They create narratives that are fake, and then they get people to believe it, and then they accept your money. They take your money for falsehoods. They do it on purpose. It's the biggest scam possible. Dude, the side scrollers did it last year. They had an interview that was staged to be a legit interview. They used that as a grounds to then make tons of negative content about me, and they milked the shit out of my detractors. They literally, for months on end, had detractors coming to their streams throwing the money. And the people are so dumb that don't like me, they didn't fucking realize it. They went and gave them money for nothing. And then guess what? They moved on. They don't care about me. They never did. They only wanted to use that as a launching platform so people would watch their crap content. So now they can do politics and other nonsense. And it worked because people were so fucking dumb. They were able to be milked by the side scrollers. And this is literally what the whole other detractor community does. Anyone who restreams me, anyone who makes this negative content about me, that's exactly what they're doing. If you're a viewer of theirs and you like their stuff, they're using you. How do you not understand that? Right? To some extent, and I know how crazy this fucking sounds, you actually have to give a little bit of credit to the original detractor groups. As much as I think they were nutty, guys like the Sons of Kojima, they weren't out to benefit from what they were doing. They weren't monetizing their content. And a lot of them actually were out to say, we just want Phil to improve. We don't like that Phil does this stuff that we don't like. We want him to improve. We want to call him out, say your gameplay sucks. You shouldn't be making fun of the game devs. You should take responsibility when you fail in a game. These were things that were legitimate criticisms of me that they had. And those criticisms were taken to heart over time. And if you don't notice today, for the most part, I try to improve based on long-standing criticisms, a lot of which came out of those communities. Now, we all know the ultimate obsession over Kojima and them infighting led to them falling apart, and that's a whole other story. But that was actually legitimate. The stuff that's happening today, the continuation of this wave of memeable hate, monetizable hate, is not valid, nor is it in any realm of logic. It's there just for people to milk morons on the internet. Just like the side scrollers did last year, and now the side scrollers don't give two fucks about anyone who hates me. Well, it's the same thing. These people are only looking to make money where they can. if all of a sudden this content, this negative content about me was not monetizable, they would be gone in an instant. They would run out the door. Because that's all they're in for it for. That's it. And if you fall for that shit, you are literally a grade A gullible loser. You know, everything they say about me and my viewers, that's you. You fell for the trap. Me, I'm providing free entertainment and content to people who like it. If they then want to support it, they have the option to do so. You understand? But my content is real. My content's not fake. It's not made up. It's not taking things out of reference. It's not creating narratives that don't exist. That's literally what they do on a daily basis just for the money to keep rolling in because people are so fucking stupid. And this is just getting worse and worse. Seriously, like the internet itself is becoming ignorant. We don't care about the truth behind anything. We just want to jump on what's popular, right? What's the new meme today? What's the new thing to run with? I just saw, listen to this. It was a tweet made about a day ago on Twitter, and I didn't even know it existed. And then all of a sudden it showed up in my timeline as I was looking at Fallout stuff. Someone, I don't know who they are, they made a tweet and they were like, so Bethesda undid the lore of Fallout New Vegas for their new show, which, by the way, they didn't. It's obvious the person didn't even watch the fucking show. But he said, they undid the lore of Fallout New Vegas for their new show. Yeah, and this is an awful thing they did, but the show's ultra popular. So Bethesda is like the DSP of gaming because they just keep making the worst possible decisions, yet they continue to exist and be successful. Like, this is what this guy tweeted. And his tweet has over 10,000 retweets. Or was it likes? It was either retweets or likes. I'm not shitting you. That was the tweet. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, so this guy is so fucking stupid. He's actually this dumb that he thinks that me, someone who's been around for 16 years, has done nothing but make bad decisions. Now, where did he get that from? From my detractors, from the memes, from the bunk documentaries that come out and say things like 10 years of failure. That's where he gets that. And the internet believes that shit because they're dumb fucks. These people don't want to take 5 minutes to learn about reality. They just want to hear the meme, laugh at it, and roll with it. A common consciousness. We all get the meme, right? What's the truth of the meme? What's the funny part of the meme? I don't care. We just laugh. I acknowledge it. DSP is bad, so I laugh now. It's like Barney the dinosaur. That sounds like. I just did a Barney voice. And again, I never have ever said that I was free of faults. You know, I know there's the meme. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct, right? It's a meme. It's a joke. I'm a flawed human. I make mistakes on a daily basis. I do. Big mistakes. And I try to own up to them when I see them happening now. I try to learn from them, but I'm not perfect. I'll continue to make mistakes for the rest of my life. All right? But it is absolutely true that the vast majority of people who don't like me today, like the person tweeting about me, don't know two diddly dicks about me. They don't watch my content. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just perpetrating or propagating this negativity about me because it's what everyone just knows, when it's actually factually wrong. And it's truthful that these idiots who every day restream me or do these negative videos about me, creating the false narrative, it is bullying. 100%. It's bullying content. Okay? And it is considered either defamation or slander. I'm not sure which. Okay? It's definitely one of them. All right? And absolutely, I believe this person. Okay? Because right now, there are female content creators who have had the same kind of thing happening to them as happened to me. And when they spoke up, YouTube and or Twitch and or whatever platform took action. Okay? I firmly believe that it is because of this modern day, very progressive movement in modern society that there are certain groups that are protected. I am not a protected group. I'm a white male. I'm the least protected group right now. Basically, I'm out here, gotta just fend for myself. No one's gonna stick up for me. No one's gonna say, oh my God, look, there's thousands of fucking awful things being said about Phil, literally invented on a daily basis. Let's shut them down. No one cares. But if I were in one of these groups, then immediately they would take action, right? Because that's the thing. That's the thing in culture right now. You have to be one of these groups, right? And again, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree. What I'm saying, that's just my situation, right? Like right now, if I were to actually go and flag content and say bullying content, YouTube would not give a shit. They would ignore me. Yeah. But if I had a case, you know, that it was discrimination on the case of the gender, race, you know, sexual orientation, if I could say all that, then it would be shut down. But I can't do that because I'm a straight white male. I don't have a case to be in one of these groups that right now everyone feels needs to be protected. So these people can literally sit here on the internet every day bullying me, and I have no recourse besides a lawsuit. Do I think I'm going to be suing anyone with a lawsuit? No. You know what they say here? Again, my philosophy has been just ignore it and move on with my day. Why? Because I have learned in my life, you can't fight fire with fire. Right? You can't. You can't. When everyone attacks each other, everyone dies. Right? There's no winner there. You can't fight fire with fire. It's just not possible. All right? So I just say, I'm not going to fight it. What am I going to do? Sit here and be a litigious asshole on YouTube slapping fucking lawsuits against YouTube channels and shit that benefit from slandering me every day? No. Number one, it's too expensive. Number two, it's too time consuming. Number three, it's not worth it. It's like they say, it's like the Hydra. For every one head you cut off, 10 more come out. Unless YouTube actually becomes a fair place and says, we're really going to enforce our rules instead of selectively enforcing it. Because that's the problem. YouTube has terms of service, but they don't enforce them. They selectively enforce them in cases where it benefits them. So if it makes them look good because they have a protected class who's being harassed and they did the right thing, they'll do it. If it's someone like me who's been harassed for over a decade by literal slander and defamation on a daily basis, bullying, vile things, harassment of myself, my family members, my fans, my moderators, it's all documented and factually proven that it all happened, but YouTube doesn't give a fuck about me right now. And they never will. Unless they change their policy to adhere to everyone equally and actual enforcement across the board. It's just not right. I agree with this person 100%. This should be fair. If someone's going to get the right treatment, everyone gets the right treatment. If you have a bullying policy, fucking enforce the bullying policy now. Not 2 years, 10 years from now, not 3 more generations of content creators down the line. Actually enhance it. Do it now. Right? People who sit on their channels all day bullying people should immediately be shut down. And I'm not just talking about my detractors. I'm talking about big fucking YouTubers who do it. People who have entire shows based around drama and gossip and bullying should not exist on YouTube because they break the bullying terms of service. But they do. Why? What's the answer? Will anyone ever hold YouTube accountable? Or let's be honest, it's not just YouTube, it's everywhere. It's all the platforms that allow it. Facebook allows it, Twitch allows it. It shouldn't exist. It should all be gone. It should be wiped off of the fucking site if they actually have a terms of service against it, which they do. But they don't. They don't enforce it. So what are you going to do, right? Again, me, I'm just a guy. All I can do, and I appreciate the comment, and I'm glad that we talked about it a little bit today, and I'm sure this is going to stir up discussion about it, right? Like, wait a minute. Why is it that certain people seem to actually get the terms of service to stick up for them, and others, it's just ignored endlessly? I'm probably the textbook case of someone who's been harassed constantly for a decade, and YouTube does not care. They just allow all of it, and it's destroyed my business, destroyed my popularity, destroyed my reputation. And if you actually look at the content I make today, this is better content than I've ever made before. In comparison, this is better content than a lot of other content creators out there, but they don't have a giant bullying community against them saying they suck, so they actually can get, like, traction on YouTube. They can get views. They don't get insane downvotes on every piece of content. They don't get people crapping on them constantly. They just get to enjoy having a vibrant community of people who like their content. I'm not allowed to do that, right? It's fucked up. So that's why I am where I am. And I always will be at this level, and that's why I've grown to accept it. Unless I'm going to go stoop to their level, right? Unless I stoop to the level of those that slander me every day, I will not be able to basically get out of where I am. So it's basically, do I become them? You know what they is? You know, do I become the villain just like them, or do I just say fuck it? I just keep going on my merry way the way that I'm going. Honestly, I really enjoy going on my own merry way. Right? I'd rather just do my own thing. I would. So let's just do that, right? I understand there's people here who, I mean, basically what I'm hearing from this person's comment, which again, I appreciate it, is, you know, in a perfect world, YouTube would care and all this content that's out about you every day would be flagged for bullying and YouTube would shut it down. But YouTube's never going to do that. I'm just going to assure everyone that it's not going to happen. Again, if I were one of these considered now in the modern day protected groups, they would actually look into it. They're never going to look into it for me. I've already been the whipping boy of YouTube for 10 years. If they didn't do it in the last 10 years, why would they suddenly do it now? Right? I don't expect them to ever have my back. Ever. So I just move on, doing my own thing. And that's it. And that's what I wish most people would do. Because that's the sad fact is they don't. They actually entertain the trash content because they're stupid. They're ignorant. Instead of taking 10 seconds to research, like how many times do we get people coming by and say, my God, I heard negative things about you from Review Tech. I heard negative things about you from this channel. And I actually came and checked out your channel. And then it was good. I had a good time with it. It was fun. We had a good chill time. We enjoyed the game. We hung out. We had fun conversation. You didn't e-beg all stream. Yeah, you mentioned it a couple times. But you didn't e-beg the whole stream like they claim you do. Well, I don't get it. I don't either. But now we have our answer. It's because it's profitable to hate on YouTube. It is profitable to be a professional bully on YouTube. YouTube allows it and doesn't care unless you're in a protected class, which I'm not. So I have to put up with the daily abuse, and that's why I choose to ignore it. That's why I don't entertain it. That's why I don't watch it. That's why I don't respond to it. That's why I don't react to it. That's why I don't care. All right? So if you basically watch that content, I can't help you. I feel like this is something that you have to do. You have to do self-inflection for yourself. So why am I enjoying watching content that likely is fake, or at least only based on a nugget of truth, but completely over-exaggerated? And I just love making fun of this guy every day, right? How many people will make fun of me today because I'm wearing a bunny on my shirt, right? Which I love. I think this is cool. Look, I think this is an awesome shirt. Oh, 40-year-old man has midlife crisis. Wears bunnies on his shirt. You're a loser. And anyone who thinks that's valid content is also a loser, a life loser. Not just, oh, in the moment, you have a pattern of being a fucking loser. All you do is watch toxic shit on the internet. You're not wired right up here. You can't be a valid contributing part of society if you just sit around hating on people all day. Do something about it. Instead of just sitting on your lumpy fucking ass there, watching crap and toxicity all day long, unsubscribe from the toxic creators and go do something positive with your life. Because guess what? You're going to get far more enjoyment out of the positive things you're doing with your life than sitting there in your chair hating on people on the internet because you're fucking jealous of them. Because that's the truth. You're mad that I am still here after 16 years making content, having a good life, happily married, great time with my viewers. You can't take it. And that's why it's your jealousy that propels you to act this way. Fucking stop. Do something positive for yourself. Get a life. Because time's a wasting. I'm 42 years old and I'm realizing now every moment in my life is very important. I need to relish and cherish every moment because my moments are getting more precious and far few, right? Many of the people who hate me are in their 20s, right? Or even teens. That's why. You're just so immune to any of it, right? You're going to live forever. You're going to be fucking, bouncing off the walls, immune to bullets and fucking superhero powers. No, you're not. You're going to be my age one day. Hopefully you make it that long. And you're going to realize, oh shit, I wasted all my time in my youth just sitting there hating on people on the internet because I'm a fucking loser. These are years you could have been building relationships, doing things for yourself, getting a job, working, making money, getting a home, building a foundation for the rest of your life. Instead, you're sitting there throwing money at fucking people who are scum, who have failed doing that. They tried doing that in their lives and they failed at it. So now they just hate on people on the internet, right? Do you really think that these YouTubers who are just toxic drama people could do anything else? Why do you think they still do it? They couldn't ever spin it into something else. No one gives a shit about them besides the toxic shit they make. So if you're someone who watches it, time to look at yourself and move on. Now is a good wake-up call. This comment is eye-opening. For me, I look at it, I'm like, if that's really the case, if what they're saying about this stuff is true, that's pathetic and sad. Because here's the truth. It doesn't matter what these people do. I'm still going to be happy. It really doesn't matter whatsoever, right? No matter what they say or do or they make up. I'm going to continue on my way here, making content that's meaningful to me and my audience. And it doesn't matter how much slander they say. If it was going to hurt me, it would have hurt me in the last decade. And yeah, I'm a rinky-dink small guy now, but I still have enough intelligent, positive people around me to understand that it's not true and that people can have fun and have a positive time here on the channel. If anything, it's hilarious because they say I'm such an awful person, yet then I also get criticized because I don't do things like sexual content in the games I play. I skip it. So I'm an awful person, vile, the lowest of the low, but I don't do any adult sexual content. So isn't that kind of contradictory? I don't do the stuff that you could say was over the top and bad in the past, but but again, nothing they say makes any sense. None of it. None of their narrative makes sense when you analyze it from an intelligent perspective. It never has. It's all based on a one little thing, extrapolated, exaggerated times million. And that's how they come with their narratives that make money, So anyway, I read the comment. I was like, wow, insightful. Obviously someone who probably has inside information, eye-opening. And, every once in a while, it's good to at least inflect on and talk about it a little bit. But at this point, it's like, for me, as you know, my philosophy is I'm not going to fight fire with fire. I'm not going to go start flagging videos. I'm not going to get a lawyer and start suing people. I'm just going to make my content every day and ignore it all. Again, it's funny because as I was saying this, the only one I brought up was Duty because he was referenced in the comment. As I'm looking at the chat, people are bringing up tons of others. And I'm like, I realize I don't know any of these people. Like, the people you're bringing up all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even know who any of these people are at all. I know nothing about it. Right? Like, I don't know. So whatever. I guess there's another generation. I feel like I've been around now 16 years. I've probably had 3 to 4 different generations of haters. Like, originally it was the DSP cult leader. Then it was Evil AJ. Then it was the Sons of Kojima and the This Is How You Don't Play movement. Then it was the Tevin restreamer, right? And now it's like these other YouTubers do these streams and other shit, right? It's just generation after generation of people with no talent and nothing to add to the planet, yet they're allowed to exist because other people are dumb and throw money at them. Hopefully one day people will wise up. But I can't make people wise up. So I'm just going to stay in my lane, and I'm just going to hang out with you guys every day, and that's that. I'm just going to say, move on if you can. If this is the first time you've heard something like this, please move on. I guarantee you, even if you hate me, just move on from hating on me and do something else with your life. You're going to have a better time. I can confirm 100%, and this is from experience. When I was a hater in the Street Fighter community, and I took all my time hating on West Coast players and the Cannon brothers who ran SRK and stuff like that, I was miserable. When I stopped being toxic in that community and I focused on being a good player and running tournaments and actually starting to get respect for what I was doing, I had a much better time. And in fact, the only reason I stopped is because I got my back injury. Like, I hurt my back so bad, I couldn't travel to play Street Fighter anymore. I was like, shit. It sucks because if I had been a positive person much earlier in my run was the late 90s to around 2007-ish. If I had been more positive earlier, I probably would have had so many friendships and things. And instead, I got a bunch of rivalries under my belt, but a lot of toxic shit that I did too that I regret. And I know for a fact, like, I know for June the King, when his documentary comes out about me, he apparently is going to go very deep into detail about my early days in Street Fighter and how toxic I was. I 1,000,000% fess up to all of that. It's all true. I was a piece of shit in the early Street Fighter community to a lot of people online. Only online. Offline, I was a nice guy, but online, I was a piece of garbage. I know it. And now I look back, and I fucking regret that so much. How awful I was to people who didn't deserve it, just because I was getting a laugh, and other people were laughing at my razzing other people and being a dick to other people. And I look back, I'm like, man, if only I'd been more positive in that time, things could have been so different. You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks that I wasn't. And now I feel like this is going to be a whole generation of people who are doing this on YouTube. And it's not just about me. It's about all these hate communities. Look at the communities against fucking Wings of Redemption and shit, right? Like, these people eventually are going to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, what the fuck did I do with my life? I wasted like 5-10 years of my life on this, and nothing happened for me. It benefited others who were basically people taking advantage of me because I'm stupid, but it didn't benefit. Phil's still here doing what he does, right? The detractor people running the channels and restreaming and shit, they made out with a ton of money and probably will one day cut and run, like most of them do. And you're the one left there with nothing, sitting there with an empty bag. Oh shit, what did I do for 10 years? I wasted all my time and I gave all my money to morons, right? Again, case in point, look at side scrollers. How many months were they shitting on me constantly, making shows about me, entire streams, milking my detractors? What did they do with that money? Did they reinvest it into anything important? Or are they making now political content that you don't care about? Because you're stupid. You gave them money because you're dumb, and now they cut and ran with it, and they do what they want now, and it's your fault. You're the one who fell for the trap. The gullible people to be milked. You know, people need to stop being so goddamn gullible. In my case, I am providing you with content that if you like it, support it, and if you don't have to. I'm not creating a community of hate around someone that's a flash in the pan now because it's popular, and then I'll move on later. What I do is trying to be essentially someone making positive content for people who will get something out of it. No one gets anything out of shitting on Darksyde Phil or Wings or anyone else. It's literally trash content for trash people. Stop being trash people. Those people that live in the garbage bags in the Like a Dragon series, they pop up, they're living trash bags. Do you want to be that forever? No. And Tigaholic says, the big problem for you is detractor content appears before your own channel just by searching DSP because of YouTube. Because of the YouTube algorithm and them allowing bullying content. They should be enforcing their terms of service and shutting it down, and they don't. Why? We've already talked about it, because I'm not in a protected class, so I'm not allowed to have the same protections as others, right? That's the problem. All right. I've said my piece. We got it out of the way. We just discussed it. As I said, I know discussion will probably pop up all over the internet now about this because I brought it up. But that's all I have to say about it. All right? I'm just going to move on now, and I'm just going to make my content and be positive and say whatever. And, you know, a million other fucking negative things. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. It's just like this person says. It doesn't matter what I do today. It doesn't matter if my gameplay is good or bad. It doesn't matter if I'm good or bad. It doesn't matter what happens in any of my content. They will literally still say the negative thing no matter what. It will never end. It will always be endless amounts of negative content because it benefits them. If it stopped benefiting them, if YouTube overnight said no more bullying content monetization, anything that's considered like bullying will not be monetized. These people would vanish from the internet tomorrow because these are not the Sons of Kojima. The Sons of Kojima did not monetize their content because they felt like they actually had a moral leg to stand on. In a lot of cases, in retrospect, I will admit they did. That a lot of the things that they said about me were correct. I see that now because I'm older and more mature. And now some of the Sons of Kojima who basically are like, we're probably like, what the fuck? Phil is saying we were right? I'm not saying they were right about everything. They were pretty crazy in a lot of cases. But a lot of the things they said were valid criticisms. And if you haven't noticed, I have changed a lot since those days. I've really, really tried to change for the better. But that's the thing. The people today don't care. They're not here for improvement. They're here to write a meme to make money from gullible people. Okay. Time for shout-outs, of which now we're going to have 7,000. Okay? Let's see here. BB Phil did a super chat. Can we have the fiery fighting feast during the special Street Fighter event where we get to donate for consuming increasing spice levels? No. I'm not going to get myself sick during an event taking contributions to eat spicy food. The whole point of an event is that I actually get to do the whole event. Not that I get sick halfway through and have to cancel it or whatever. That'd be pretty stupid, right? BB Phil did another super chat. I never understood why haters want to drive you from the internet. Wouldn't they kill their own careers by ending yours? Again, it's really weird because here's the thing. I feel like those who restream me to make money don't want that. But the sad fact, what they don't understand is that they would then create people who hate me irrationally for no good reason who do want me off the internet. Okay? I don't believe that anyone who's benefiting from restreaming me or making content about me daily wants me to lose my job, because if I do, then they can't make content about me anymore and they lose their jobs. right? But the problem is people watch their content and now they don't have investment. They're not making money off of me. And now they want to see me end. And so you get people who put together entire packages of stuff that they submit to businesses 3 years ago, shit from 10 years ago that I said on YouTube that's, you know, ancient history. Oh, this is who Phil is today. See, he calls himself the king of hate, and he's a racist and a bigot and a sexist, and here's all the things he's done. And it's shit that's 10 years outdated. And the businesses are so dumb they believe it and think it's from today, and then they fucking ban me from everything. It's stupidity. But that's what happens. Those people are not right in the head. They're out to get me hurt. Not the people who are the direct content restreamers, but the people who watch that and then get brainwashed. Red re-upped their membership for 10 months and says, stop watching detractor content. Damn straight. BB Phil did a super chat. You have to understand your haters point to us all these hater channels to learn the truth about DSP. It's not like we seek them out. Huh? You have to understand your haters point us to all of these hater channels to learn the truth about DSP. It's not like we seek them out. I don't know what that means. It doesn't even make sense, actually. So, I don't... If you could reword that, but I don't understand what that really means. Maximum Turbo did a super chat. He says, Detractors, stop. DSP wins every time. No, I don't win every time. You know, there's a reason why my channel is so small and why I've shrunken over the years, and it's hard to maintain. I mean, this is why. When literally every day, someone is saying you've done something heinous and you didn't, or they'll be like, oh, here's what he did today on his stream, but then they interject clips from 10, 15 years ago of stuff that I regret, have apologized for, and don't do anymore, and say, oh, this is him today. No, it's not. You know? Anyway. Let's see here. I received a $1 tip from DSP Superfan. Basically, he says, he keeps saying afuera. Like trolls afuera, detractors afuera. Right. Anyway, thanks for the $1 tip. Everyone afuera. Yes. Excuse me. Let's continue. I got a $5 tip from Kuma Bear. Stop talking about your detractors. All right. How often does this happen? This is just because I got a comment that I found very insightful. All right. I thought that it was worth, because it actually analyzed it in a very interesting and way that's like, oh, okay, now I kind of get it. You know, because everyone comes to my streams all the time and asks me, why do you think so many people hate you or make the content about you? Here's your answer. And it's an answer that I can't give because I don't pay attention to it. It's okay every once in a while to call this shit out, because the truth is no one else is going to do it, right? How many years has it been where someone had a chance to actually cover the hate against me in a rational way and no one has? Why? Because it doesn't benefit. Because what makes money? The drama, the toxicity, the negativity. Actually covering my story in a way that analyzes how Phil has made tons of mistakes, and here's what they all are, but here's the insane amount of nonsense on a daily basis that's put out about him that's bullshit, right? Why? And then analyze that and actually dig into them and expose them for the fucking frauds that they are. It's never been done. If someone were to do that, I'm calling it right now. If someone were to make that video, that documentary, exposing the frauds that are DSP detractor community, that would get far more traction and attention than any video about me. The videos about me have been done to death, and it's all the same shit. You haven't even heard a new thing about me in 5 fucking years. It's all the same shit regurgitated over and over. Now analyze those motherfuckers who do this on a daily basis. You're going to get down to something people actually are interested in. But no one has done it. I wish they would. I really wish they would. I received a $10 tip from Swagonito. Is your bunny t-shirt a reference to your childhood bunny? If not, it's still a cool callback. What was your bunny's name? Have a good positive stream. His name was Bunny. Bunny Rabbit. Bunny. Bunny Rabbit. And it's not necessarily a callback to my rabbit. It's just a nice shirt that I saw at the store. And now we're in spring. It's warm. It's going to be summer soon. It's going to be hot. I need to wear short sleeve shirts and shorts. So I picked it up. It's not a particular call out to anything, but it is a nice shirt, I feel. Thank you, Swagonito. for the $10 tip. Yeah. All right, I just received a $20 tip. I'm a little late with this. During the first run of Alone in the Dark, you're surprised Carby died from water, as you called it. I think the comment term is drowning. They made it instantaneous, because what's the point of staring at the screen for 5 to 10 minutes watching him die? People have survived being submerged for 20 minutes. Well, I think it was just weird because, like, for example, if that scene was going to... I think it would have been better if it was more supernatural. Like, for example, let's say he gets sucked into the water, right? And then all of a sudden, like, a jump scare happens. Like, something comes out of the water and eats him. Or a scary flash scene happens in your face. Like, ah! And then all of a sudden, he's back at the bottom of the staircase, and it starts filling with water again, and now you have to run up again. That would be better than just, oh, he instantly died, reload. What? I just think that this scene was done poorly. I understand what you're saying. Yes, you don't want to see him slowly drown. That would be boring. But by the way, we should also call out the fact that if it really was filling with water, okay, he could just swim up the fucking tower anyway. If it filled with water, he could literally just swim upwards and survive, or at least get to a door that was going to open. So again, the whole scene kind of doesn't make sense. The instant death water. I understand you're trying to justify it, but basically it was just a silly mechanic they used, and I called it out and made a silly observation. Nothing too serious. Let's see here. I received a $1 tip from Kirk. It's all my fault. I'm sorry. Haters on Afuera. It's totally all Kirk's fault. 100%. He went back in time in a DeLorean, and he started the hate movement against me. In truth, there always was people who were hateful against me, but it definitely was the Ret Super Eye or whatever it was that they razzed me and made fun of me. And people were like, wow, that was really funny. And then immediately after, even though he doesn't really admit it, Evil AJ made This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2, and that took off like wildfire. And people said, oh, wait, Evil AJ just got like 1 million views on his video. That's crazy. Now, what if I do that? So they all did, and they all just made fun of me, and it became this virally popular thing that people just kept riding their wave of popularity to do it. And then eventually, these things became monetized. And then eventually it became, well, you know, just making fun of Phil's gameplay doesn't work anymore that well. It doesn't have as much traction. It's played out. Let's now attack his character. Let's attack his mannerisms. Let's attack what he says, how he acts. His you know, other, and then even get, let's go now behind the scenes of his private life. Let's try to get into his personal information that no one should have access to. And let's try to do this and do that. You know what I mean? It just got worse and worse and worse and worse over the years. Because again, people were getting views, popularity, and eventually profit, money from hating on me. That's the cycle that it took over the years. Big Fridge did a super chat. He says, why don't we harass side scrollers? Because we don't harass anyone. As I've already said, I said it right here during this podcast. You don't fight fire with fire. Just because someone has treated you badly doesn't mean you wish them ill. What's happening now with Review Tech, I don't want him to have a bad life. I don't want him to be going through stress. I don't want him to be going through bad things. I want him to have a better life. Because maybe if things were going better for him, he wouldn't do toxic content. Right? Right? So even though things apparently are going bad for him, I actually wish him the best. Right? I do. I don't want anyone going attacking other channels. I condemn that. I would rather just have you sit here and hang out with me and enjoy the positive content than go propagate more negativity across the internet. There's already more than enough toxicity and negativity on YouTube. We don't need to be creating our own. Okay? That's my mentality. You could completely disagree. That's where I stand. Fair enough? Okay. Mav Strike did a super chat. He says, if the trolls are a problem, why not hop off the internet secretly and get a normal job? Number one, you want me to quit my dream job that I love because of a bunch of fucking no-load trolls on the internet. That's what you're literally telling me. I should quit the best job I've ever had that I love doing, I feel, is helping people on a daily basis in a positive way. You want me to throw it all away because of a bunch of troll people on the internet? I mean, I don't even have to say anything past that, do I? But I will. All right? But, I mean, that's number one. You don't let these people fucking beat you. What kind of world is that? Oh, I'm facing adversity. Let me run from it. No! You face it head on. You challenge it. You persevere through it. You don't quit. That's ridiculous. Okay? Now, on top of that, you know, when it comes to this job, it's the best job I've ever had. I'm my own boss. I've seen tried and truth over the years. No matter what, people support me, no matter where I go or what I do, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on a third-party site for 2 months like Whip TV, whether it's on a social media site, wherever it is, people are going to follow because they actually see through the bullshit and like me and want more content from me. And that, you know, and I appreciate that. The actual positive community is an amazing one. I don't want to throw that away at all. This is 16 years of my life of investment. And for a lot of people, it's a lot of time investment for there too. They feel like they're actually part of something, correct? I'm not going to just throw that shit away. That's insane. Imagine doing something 16 years of your life you love and you just quit on it because of fucking hate on the internet. Like, what? Right? Like, what are you, nuts? And then on top of that, Mav, I get the feeling you obviously don't know what it really is like out there in the real world. There is no overabundance of high-paying, great jobs out there at all. It doesn't exist. Although our government in the United States would like to act like there is, there's not. We created all these jobs. Yeah, what jobs did you create? Walmart, McDonald's, Uber Eats, you know, jobs that are part-time. You're scraping by to even make enough to make a living. These are not careers. These are not good jobs for people who can build up and support a family at all. These are, you know what I mean? This is what our government has created for us. A service-based economy that's terrible. And it's hard to hold a job. It's hard to find a job where you can get health care. It's trash. You know, I would literally, no exaggeration, would probably have to hold 2 to 3 part-time jobs because no one would hire me full-time because that doesn't even happen anymore. I'd have to have 2 to 3 part-time jobs, juggling them constantly, sometimes probably working more than one job a day to try to make ends meet. That's how it is in America right now. Things could change. It'd be great if they did, but that's the reality we're all living in. It ain't the rainbows and unicorns that the news likes to spread. Oh, didn't you know that more jobs were created? Yeah, what kind of jobs exactly? What kind of hours at those jobs? Please give us information on the jobs that are being created rather than just saying jobs, because that doesn't mean anything. But that's what our news would never tell you. And again, that is political, but it's just truthful. If I were to stop doing this for a living and try to go out there and get a job, I could do it. Right now, I could go work for any fucking retail job, any restaurant. I could just go right out there right now and work these jobs, and I would bust my ass and not make as much money and make a living that I do now. There's no point. America is broken right now. America needs to be fixed. Okay? Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Wow, a ton of gifted memberships just came in. All from Nathan Smith. Congratulations to... Oh, I can't see these two. The first two he gifted, I can't see. They disappeared for some reason. Hold on, maybe I can do it this way. Doesn't show them. Son of a bitch. All right, well, thank you. Nathan gifted 7 memberships to the channel. 2 of them went to individuals, and I can't see them. They went away. But congratulations to Yunner Ostrander, Demolition Daddy, Radical Jaws, Cracker Jacks, and Frankie Flathead, who all just got a gifted membership as well. If you got a gifted membership from Nathan, please be sure to thank Nathan. Okay? And thank you, Nathan, for supporting the channel. BB Phil did another super chat. Can't you claim revenue from some of these hater channels? I wonder how much money your brand generates in total per month, including every hater channel. Here's the funny part about that. That's what Machinima said that they were doing. I don't know if they ever actually did it, because they never actually paid me that. All right? But Machinima claimed that because I was part of their partner network, okay, that all the content was under their umbrella, and if anyone was using my content for their own, even if it was legal, like you could say fair use, because someone cut my content up and put it into their hater content. But the truth is, supposedly, right, apparently, the ad revenue is owned by the original creator, which is why when I'm on YouTube and I'm making a video and some bullshit asshole claims my video because there's something in it, I'm like, but that's, what are you talking about? You know, fair use, yes, I can legally use it, but it doesn't entitle me to the ad revenue. So that was Machinima's take. Machinima's take was, oh, we could just claim whatever. So apparently they went out there and they were blanket claiming anyone who had my videos in their content. And of course, people blamed me for that, even though I wasn't even involved in it. Like, I never was told, oh, these are the videos we're claiming. I was never given a stat. Oh, here's all the revenue we're pulling from those channels. Never. And I don't, to be honest, I don't think they ever paid me for it either, because I never saw like an increase in income when they claimed they were doing it. I think they kept it all for themselves if they ever did it. So it is what it is. You know, but here's the truth. I don't know what the legality is or not. Machinima felt it was legal. I can't confirm or deny. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know about fair use law, copyright law. That's for courts to be hashed out or whatever. But basically, I don't even know how I would go about doing it. From what I understand, these major corporations, you know, they get themselves into YouTube systems somehow to get their content flagged or whatever. But YouTube is not going to take my daily videos every day. I'm a little small-time guy. They're not going to take a video that has a few hundred views and load it into the content ID system, you know, for free, and then have that matched to other people's content. It sucks because you're right. All these people are making money on my name by slandering me, and they're using my content to do it. Abso-freaking-lutely. I should have the ability to do something about it, whether it is to shut down the content, to flag it as unmonetizable, as bullying, to get the ad revenue on it myself. But there's no clear-cut path on YouTube to do any of that unless I get a lawyer, which I can't afford, and then maybe they'd work with YouTube to figure it out. But like I said, again, you don't fight fire with fire. You don't. I don't see the benefit of that for me. For me, it's just make the content I'm making every day and enjoy the life I'm having and living and just focus on the positive, right? Okay. Yep. Yeah, this is a silly quote, but you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Says a dollar tipper. Well, yeah. Again, I used to be one of the highest, most positively regarded gaming YouTubers. And then somehow, doing literally exactly the same thing that I have done for years and years and years, I became the villain. Even though I didn't change. Right? Kirk did another dollar tip. He says something political. I'm just going to ignore it. Okay. Shit. Let's see. Abu, 2 months as a member. He said, duty streams have a spoon. He could probably eat it out of his own ass if he wanted to. Covenant Lazarus did a super chat. Can you claim music made about you? Again, I don't know. I don't know how to claim anything. There's no claiming tool on YouTube. You would have to have a lawyer in submitting your content to do it. There's no, oh, someone used your content. Here's how to easily claim it. That doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. All right? Whoever tells you that is a liar. There's no easy claim tool. There's a copyright matching tool. And what that does is you can send a request to take it down, or you can copyright strike. That tool exists. There's no content claiming tool for you to just get money from people. It doesn't exist, all right? And again, major companies have legal teams. Their legal teams probably take all their content, and then when it's loaded into YouTube, they then say match all this, and then they have legal ways to get the money. A common tiny person like me doesn't have that. It doesn't exist. Maximum Turbo gifted a membership and went to Ricari. Enjoy Ricari, and thank you, Maximum Turbo, for supporting the channel. Big Fridge did a super chat, and he says, they're losers. You're their whole personality. I'm their whole existence. If I didn't exist, they would not exist. Right? No one would have ever known who the fuck Tevin is. No one would have ever known who the fuck any of these fucking nobodies are if I wasn't here making content. And truthfully, in reality, they only got their ideas from others that came before them, right? They got their ideas from the Sons of Kojima, from Evil AJ, from people who, as much as they disliked me, never monetized their content. They're all just frauds. They're all just frauds copying each other. At the end of the day, again, no talent. If they had talent, they'd go do something that required talent, and they'd actually make money doing it. Okay. All right, are we good now? Have we talked enough about this? Like I said, I only wanted to talk about it because the comment is fresh. It just hit my video today. And I was like, now's the time. If we're going to talk about it, let's just get this out of the way. And now we can move on. Today, I'll be honest, I don't want to talk about it further. We just went super long on the podcast because of it. Now we can say we've talked about it, we ended it, it's over. The discussion, we can